Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Straight Up Mental Health Podcast with me, Kevin Mullen.
And myself, Heather Mullen.
This podcast is brought to you by Mullen's Therapy, online and in-person therapy to get you on top and keep you on top of your mental health. The link is in the description. Today's episode is all about fast, effective change. What's the one thing, Heather, that creates change?
Action, Kevin.
And everybody needs to get on board with that, and they need to get on board with that quickly.
Absolutely.
The whole sitting, thinking and analysing and planning and dissecting
and over-catastrophising it
just doesn't create any change.
No.
And only when you act will you get that change.
Yeah.
And the definition of insanity, for those who aren't aware of it, is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
You need to change it up and do it a different way, don't you?
And most people will say they've changed it up and they've done it differently and they've got the same result, but they've not.
No.
Let's say they went into CBT.
Yeah.
And they've done their cognitive behaviour therapy, their talk therapy, right?
Yep.
And the first time it didn't work.
Yeah.
And they go back about 2 years later and they try it again and it doesn't work. And then they say, right, I've tried everything. No. You've tried the same thing twice, it didn't work. And all of a sudden you've tried everything. And they're like, yeah, I've tried everything. And when people tell us they've tried everything, we'll say to them, okay, list me, bear in mind there's thousands, isn't there?
Yes.
List me 100 things you've tried. And they're like, what? List me 100 things you've tried. Well, I mean, maybe not 100. Okay, let's half it, list 50. Oh, well, no. I can't think at the moment. Okay, let's make it even easier. List 10. Well, I might not have tried everything, but I've tried a lot. Okay, 5. Well, yeah, I mean, you've done the same thing over and over again, expect a different result.
Yeah.
So today's podcast really is about different ways and different methods and different techniques to help you get on top and stay on top of your mental health. And some of these methods and techniques today are going to be life-changing for you, absolutely life-changing, but only if you act.
You need the action.
And that is what's going to change you. Because let's be honest, this might be the most bizarre thing ever to say. Mullen's Therapy is a load of rubbish if you don't act on it.
You need to put 110% into it.
Absolutely. You can sit and listen to this podcast, right? Or a podcast like it, or you can go to therapy with us or with someone like us, or MD actually, and say, right, that was really insightful, that helped. I got a bit of knowledge from that. I've got something to do now. I've got a method, a technique, a hint, a tip, something. I've got it. And you leave and you never do it. Well, the therapy wasn't effective at all. The podcast wasn't effective at all. The audio wasn't effective at all because all you gained was a bit of knowledge. Knowledge is not power. Let me repeat that for you. Knowledge is not power.
It's the action that is.
And that's where you get the power for. Let's give you a metaphorical example. Let's pretend there's a whiteboard in front of us and I'm going to teach you how to swim. And I draw a little stick person and do the legs kick, the arms over rotate one at a time. Keep your head up, hold your breath, put your head under, let your breath out.
Yeah.
And I teach you that on a whiteboard. I give you the knowledge and the application of swimming. And we go over that lesson 100 times. What do you think is going to happen when I put you in the water?
You need to action it so it's not going to work.
You're going to sink like a stone.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't learn to swim by looking at knowledge.
No.
You learn to swim by actually actioning it. And that's like your mental health. You're not going to get better at your mental health or have better mental health, should we say, because you know stuff. You're going to have better mental health because you act on stuff. And again, you're going to hear that word repeated throughout this podcast in this episode. Action, action, action. Because I'll die on the hill with this one. Action creates change.
Yeah.
Knowledge creates disappointment.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is so many people out there, they know. I know my thoughts are irrational. I know I should be better. I know I should do better. I know I should try something different, Kevin. I know it's not healthy for me. Okay, but you keep doing it. You keep repeating it. But they know, right? We're like submerged and drowning in a sea of knowledge right now.
Yeah.
And we're starving for the application and the action. One look on any social media platform. Let's take TikTok as a vehicle.
Yeah.
And you can find, you know, a 22-year-old out there who is a marriage guidance expert,
Okay.
but has never been married. You can find a male menopause expert who's never had the menopause.
Yeah.
You can find a female men's mental health expert, and she has no experience of being a man. But yet they're knowledgeable because they read it in a book,
Yeah, but
they listen to a
put action
podcast,
to it, yeah.
but they have no action with it. And we're not denying that there's a world of knowledge out there. And there is a world of knowledge out there, but it's the application and the action. And we urge every client we see, we urge every person we speak to, even outside the practice that, you know, talk to us and say, oh, listen, I'm really struggling with mental health. We urge everybody to act and to do it differently. The methods and techniques we give you are different, but we urge you to act. So let's go straight in with a method and a technique. This one is called What is My Next Thought? This is a really cool method and technique because it completely shuts down negative thoughts, and that in turn will give you that clear emotional balance.
Absolutely.
Because when you challenge negative thoughts that have never been challenged before, they literally don't know what to do. So Heather, take it away. Let's teach everyone what's my next thought,
Okay.
please.
I want you to close your eyes. Go on, close your eyes for me. Now, I want you to ask yourself, what's my next thought going to be? Ask yourself, what's my next thought going to be? Go on, ask yourself, what's my next thought going to be? What's my next thought going to be? What's my next thought going to be? Now, I want you to open your eyes and I want you to tell me, what's your next thought?
I think the only thought you can get with that is
What is my next thought going to be? Yeah.
And that's not an anxious thought.
No.
That's just a thought.
Yep.
Because when you challenge them and they don't know what to do and it scans for what to do and doesn't know what to do,
Yep.
it shuts itself down.
As we say, thoughts don't like to be challenged.
You want a clear mind, ask yourself, what's my next thought going to be?
Absolutely.
So let's say you've got negative thoughts and you can't do that process because you don't remember it for whatever reason. And it's also creating this feeling of anxiousness, this worry, this fear. There's a method we use, and we've done it on previous podcasts, but we're massive advocates of it. So we're going to do it again on this podcast because it is about action and it is about change. We call this one double in, 7 out. Heather, tell us a little bit about that, please.
Okay, so double in, 7 out when you have overthinking and you have the feelings like your stomach is turning. Now, did you know that you can't think or feel on an exhale?
Lots of people are going to say they didn't know that, aren't they?
You can't think or feel on an exhale. Right, do it with me. So it's like when you go to jump in a swimming pool, you're grabbing your breath, okay? Because if you don't, you're going to sink. So a double inhale followed by a 7-second slow exhale. Right, are you ready? So a double inhale. Out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Drop all the way down. Double inhale. Out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Drop everything again. One more time. Double inhale. Out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Drop everything. When you take a nice deep breath in and slowly out.
And pay attention right now to what you think and what you feel. You should notice that your mind has gone really, really quiet.
Calm.
And because your mind has gone quiet, and we know that the mind, the thought, creates the emotion.
You don't have the feelings.
Shouldn't be there now, right?
No.
And we do that 3 times. The reason we do that 3 times is because our subconscious mind, it really does pick up on pattern.
Yeah.
And anything you do in life once is just once.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, let's say you work at a job and there's a lot of client interaction, a lot of, person-on-person dealings, and one person comes up to you and says, I think you're rubbish at your job. You're going to go, yeah, all right, calm down. You're not going to pay attention, right? It's just someone's opinion.
Yeah.
Everybody's got them.
Yeah.
See, if the second person comes up and says, you're rubbish at your job, you're going to go, huh? What is it, pick on me day?
Yeah.
See, if a third person in a row comes up and says you're rubbish at your job, you're going to pay attention.
Yeah.
And you're going to look at all your processes. Because what's happened, there's been a pattern formed.
Yeah.
And that's why we do all these methods, all these techniques that we teach you 3 times. You'll notice we did a little bit more than 3 times with what's my next thought going to be, but minimum 3 times.
Yeah.
Double in, 7 out, minimum 3 times. And if you were at a level 10 intensity with your negative thoughts and feelings, and you do the process and you drop it all the way down to a 4, excellent, well done you. Guess what we want you to do again?
Go again.
And again
And
and
again.
again. Because repetition is consistent, consistency becomes habitual, and habitual is where we're trying to take it.
Yeah.
Anything you've done in life habitually and consistently, you've learned to do it.
Over and over again.
And now you don't even think of doing it.
Yeah.
How many times did you learn to tie a lace?
I know.
How many times did you have to learn in order to read, to write, to drive, to cook, to clean, to do hair, to do makeup, to shave?
Yep.
You know, you had to do it loads of times. And now actually you can do it without even thinking about that stuff. It's the exact same. Here's the simplicity of this, right? And here's the news flash, folks. We're getting you and we're asking you to do the exact same thing that you've done your whole life, but just with your mental health.
Yeah.
You've done it your whole life.
You've done it with everything else.
We're not teaching you repetition because you know what repetition is. And you've done it your whole life to get to where you've got to.
Yep.
And that's all we're doing with it. Can't be that simple, Kevin. You're making it sound very easy. It absolutely is. The only people that, you know, overcomplicate life is individuals. And life is a simple process, but we insist in overcomplicating it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't need to be that way. Remember, if you're enjoying this podcast is brought to you by Mullins Therapy Online and in-person mental health therapy to get you on top and keep you on top of your mental health. The link is in the description of this podcast. So if you want to find out a little bit more about that, please click on the link and see what it can do for you. So we have managed to do 2 techniques so far.
Yes.
We've did What's Your Next Thought and we've did
Double in 7
out. I want to teach you another method actually, and it's designed to really, really calm that mind of yours, to dull down any negative thoughts and remove any feeling. And it's called a peripheral vision reset.
Okay.
A peripheral vision reset. And I know some of you guys and girls are going to be watching this on YouTube and you'll be able to see what we're doing. But we're going to remote it to you if you're listening on Spotify, Apple or Amazon.
Yeah.
And all I want you to do is I want you to take your hand and extend it in front of you and put your hand up with your nails facing your face. So you can see your nails. You can see the hand at arm's length in front of you.
Okay.
And what I'd like you to do now, please, is I want you to stare, you know, intensely at the middle finger, the nail and the middle finger. Stare intently at it, really, really, like burn a hole through it. And whilst you're doing that, I want you to turn that stare into a soft gaze and just start to become aware now of the nail on the left and the right of it. And become aware of the other nail on the left and then the right of it. And now become aware of the gap to the left and to the right. Start to open up your vision to include everything, all the way to the left, all the way to the right. And as you're doing it right now, pay attention to what's happening to your mind. You'll notice it's extremely quiet. And when it's extremely quiet, you then get to backfill it. And you get to backfill it with those bridging statements, with those incantations that we've taught in previous podcasts.
Yeah.
If this is your first podcast, you know, I would urge you to go back and listen to the others because we do the bridging statements and we're mindful of repeating ourselves over and over and over again because then you become boring, right? So that's called a peripheral vision reset. You're just opening up your peripheral vision to take into account everything that's right in front of you. Now, we did it with your fingernail. Believe it or not, you can sit in a chair and you can look at the corner of a table and do it. You can look down at your foot and do it with the eye of the shoelace and do it. You can do it with a pen.
Any object.
Anything at all.
Any
I'm
object.
just explaining it in the easiest way to do that is with a hand and a nail. So it can be any object. I did that actually with a good friend of ours, Steve. We were going for our Christmas night out. And he's like, so what really cool things can you teach me as we're out tonight? And I'm like, we're not doing work tonight, but stare at the lamppost. And see the little notch on the lamppost. He's like, yeah. I said, stare at that. And we did peripheral vision reset
On
with
a
a
night
notch
out.
on a lamppost before we went on the night out, might add, because I wasn't for doing that when there's any form of substance like alcohol running through my veins because I mix my words up, forget where I am.
Yeah.
So peripheral vision reset can be used with any object as long as it's in front of you. So peripheral vision reset is a really cool one. What we also need to remember is you can do these methods and techniques anytime, anywhere. They don't need to be over-exaggerated. They don't need to be, so everybody can see and pay attention to what's he doing, what's she doing, what they doing. It can be done subtly.
Yeah.
You can soften them
Yeah.
all the way down. There is another method and technique that we use, and it's an NLP method and technique, and this one is particularly useful for feelings, and it's called pause, drain, frame, fold, push, blow, and it's really, really powerful, and it's mainly designed for feelings.
Yeah.
It's not got much to do with negative thoughts. So some people don't get negative thoughts, they just have that feeling of anxiety or that feeling of sadness or that feeling of fear all the time, or that feeling of stress all the time. What is stress?
Scarcity, Kevin.
And fear.
Yeah.
And the third thing we want to teach you today is I want you to stop using the word stress, and I want you to replace it with the truth. And the truth is fear.
Yeah.
I am scared of. Anything you're stressed about, actually you're scared about. And if we're honest with each other and we're honest with ourselves, we replace stress with fear, we have a clearer picture. I'm stressed about my job, I'm stressed about my relationship, I'm stressed about finances, I'm stressed about what's happening next week. No,
you're scared.
You're scared you're going to lose your job, you're scared your relationship's going to go down the pan, and you're scared you don't have enough money to cover your outgoings, and your earnings outweigh your earnings. We've got 2 daughters whose earnings outweigh their earnings, and
Absolutely
they don't seem stressed at all, to be perfectly honest with you. But the truth is, stress is nothing more than fear. What am I scared of? I'm scared of that. Okay, next question. What do I need to do? What action do I need now in order to make sure that doesn't happen? 2 questions. What am I scared of? And what do I need to do now in order to change that? See the answer to that second question? Guess what it becomes? Your action. It has to become your action. I can't emphasize enough on this podcast that action creates this change that we're talking about.
Absolutely. Without the action, there'll be no change.
And too many people are out there saying, well, nothing ever changes. No, it's because you're doing that whole time as a healer. No, time is not a healer. Time won't change things. No. What you do with your time will change it. And a different action will get you a different outcome. Definitely. And again, I know we've went over it before about that whole, if at first you don't succeed, try again nonsense. And it is nonsense. And we need to stop teaching that. The education system has to be better than putting that in the curriculum. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Same method, same technique, same outcome. That's okay, try again. Same method, same technique, same outcome.
If it doesn't work the first time, it's not going to work the second, third, or even the fourth. So
but
you
it's
need
okay
to do it do it a different way.
So try it again with the same method, the same technique, and get the same outcome. And you're right, Heather. Different method, different technique, try again. Okay, what do we do though, Heather, if we do a different method, a different technique, and it doesn't work?
Go again.
Right. So we change the method, we change the technique, and we go again. It still doesn't work.
Again.
Change the method, change the technique, and we go again. It still doesn't work.
Do it a different way and go again.
Bloody You can change the method and technique as many times as you need in order to get that desired outcome. You don't get to try it once or twice and then just throw your hands in there and say, well, it's not working.
No, that didn't work. Well, no, do it a different way and go again.
The method and technique didn't work, or the action didn't work, and that's okay. And sometimes, you have to find out what you don't like in order to work out what you do like. Have you got a list of foods that you like?
Yes.
Have you got a list of foods that you don't like?
Yes.
How did you discover you don't like them?
Tried them.
Not for me, on the naughty list.
Yes.
Like that, for me.
Yeah.
Life is a metaphorical list of foods.
Yeah.
You have to try it to see if it works. And if it works, put it in your arsenal.
If it doesn't, bin it.
Don't do it again.
Yeah.
The secret to success, find something that works, repeat it.
Yeah.
And you keep repeating it. And when it doesn't work, you then sidetrack it and you find a new way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's not that deep. It's not that complicated.
Just something we didn't know.
We live in a world where everybody's, using terminology like nervous system is out and that. It's not a coin. It's not a phrase that we can just use and, throw about willy-nilly and make everybody think that they're do-wally. It doesn't work like that. It is simple. It is easy, but only if we apply the action to it. And I'm prepared to go toe-to-toe with people on this. I'm prepared to prove them, because unequivocally we can prove that it changes. It might not change for everybody, but you need to then find a different method, different technique for that person. They'll do it, and guess what? It'll change for them.
Yeah.
It's that going over it and worrying about it and analysing it and catastrophising it and, embellishing it and say, well, what if it goes wrong? What if I can't do it? And, oh my God, what if? What if I fail?
What if you don't?
All it did was change the question.
Yeah.
Ask yourself, listeners, right now, is there something you want to do in life? Is there something you want to achieve in life? Is there somewhere you want to go in life and you're worried about it? Ask yourself right now, what if I fail? What if I can't? What if I fail? What if I can't? What if I fail and what if I can't do this? Notice what it starts to make you feel like. Now let's change the question. What if I do it and I love it and it's great? What if I do it and I love it and it's great? What if I do it and I love it and it's great? Change the question. Yeah. What does that changing question make you feel like? Because it don't make you feel bloody anxious.
And what if you can't do it yet? Never just say, I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't go there. What if I can't yet?
That yet gives that hope, that prosperity. Yeah. See the gentleman or the gentle lady who flew the world's largest plane into Glasgow Airport today, the A380. If I was to ask them 4 years ago, can you fly the largest commercial passenger jet in the world, would they have told me they can't do it? Or would they have said, I can't do it yet,
but I'm going to learn? Because she wanted or he wanted. Yeah.
And they went and learned.
Yeah.
And that's how we progress in life.
Yeah.
We're not looking for perfection. We're just not. We're looking for progress, and progress comes through action.
Yes, it does.
Don't be scared of an action. Don't be scared of trying it. Don't be scared of attempting it. You're scared, I get it. Not because you're incapable, but because it's new.
It's because you don't know how to yet.
And every change you're going to make is going to be 3 steps. Every change you're going to make with this stuff is going to be 3 steps.
It's going to be difficult.
Absolutely.
Difficult to start with. Then it becomes awkward.
Yep.
Then before you know it, it's easy. Difficult, awkward, and then it becomes easy.
Yeah, a little kid with the stabilisers on, shaking like a leaf. Oh my God, I can't do this. A couple of days later, we take the stabilisers off and they wobble about like Bambi on ice, and it's a bit awkward, but they get there.
There you go.
And 2 weeks later, they're zipping about the estate like a lunatic.
Yeah.
Not even a thought about their safety, about their concern, about traffic, unfortunately, about the hills, the grasses, the jumps. They're just zipping about.
And that's the exact same with all these methods and techniques. You might think, oh, it's a bit difficult. But then more you do it, consistency, difficult, awkward, then easy.
Tell you what you don't get to do though. Stop. You don't get to stop because you're tired.
No.
You don't get to stop because it's draining.
Never quit.
And the person who never quits never loses. Okay, it might take a little bit of time, but they never lose. The person that doesn't give in never loses.
Yeah.
The person that doesn't stop
never loses.
The person that doesn't take no for an answer
never loses.
You just keep going. You get to stop when you've achieved.
Yeah.
And you can have a break and a rest, and then you can pick your next achievement.
And keep telling yourself, I can, I will, and I'm going to. I can, I will, and I'm going to. Shout it louder. I can, I will, and I'm going to. With real congruency. Come on. I can, I will, and I'm going to.
Again, another name for congruency, belief.
Yeah.
With real belief, with real congruency. It's a word we use a lot here.
Yeah.
And I think somebody sent us a message the other day, said, I don't know what that means. Okay, that's no problem. I didn't know what it was meaning either until I learnt it. So, we just use another word for it and we call it belief. You lack self-belief? Nah, not really. We've done a podcast on that. We've done radio shows on that.
Yes,
we've done videos on that. A lack of self-belief comes from two places.
It comes from history, what happened in the past. Someone told you weren't good enough. Someone told you didn't look good. Someone told you couldn't do that job and you believed them. Or environmental, who you surround yourself with.
There's a saying out there.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, I was going to say, you show me your friends and I'll show you your future.
Absolutely. Another way, lay with dogs, catch fleas.
Yeah.
Horrible saying, right?
Not very nice.
But it's true. And who you surround yourself with is a really important factor in your life. And if you're surrounded by negativity,
it's going to project onto you.
It's going to actually rub off on you, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, extinguish everyone from your life apart from the positives, because that's an impossibility. Yeah. But you should have at least 1 or 2 positive people that you look up to and aspire to be like. And start watching how they behave. Start watching what boundaries they've got, because boundaries will help you with that. And again, we've done the podcast previously. We will talk about boundaries, enforcement and setting.
Because they are healthy to have.
People pleasing and the stuff that goes with it. And that's the methods and techniques. So if you apply any one of those 4 methods and techniques taught to you on this podcast, you're mental health will dramatically improve. I've got one final method and technique for you today.
What is it?
I want you to be a quitter.
A quitter?
Yeah, I want you to be a quitter. I want you now, today, to quit your worst habit or behaviour.
That is perfect.
Because by quitting your worst habit and behaviour, you will dramatically change your mental health.
Yeah.
Easier than starting a new behaviour to get better.
Yeah. Get the ones that are negative out the road.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is it your internal dialogue? Is it your behaviour? Is it
Yeah.
your social circle? Is it your limiting belief? Is it your passive mindset? Is it the people pleasing? I don't know what your worst trait behaviour is, but we've all got one.
Whatever it is, pick it, yeah.
Most people will probably side on internal dialogue on this one, or the way I speak to myself. Right, quit speaking to yourself like an idiot. Love, care, compassion, respect. Love, care, compassion, respect.
Yeah, the way you would speak to everyone else around you.
If you wouldn't speak to your kids, your partner, your mum,
speak to yourself
your
like
boss, your peers like it, do not bloody speak to yourself like it.
Absolutely, because you're the most important person.
Give yourself a little bit of hope here. Give yourself a run at the road, my God. Love, care, compassion, respect.
It goes a long way.
Today, I want you to be a quitter. And if you quit your worst behaviour, you'll dramatically improve. It's really, really easy.
You just can do it. You can.
I promise. Remember, this podcast was brought to you today by Mullins Therapy, mental health therapy online and in person to get you on top and keep you on top of your mental health. To find out more about that, please click the link in the description of this podcast. I hope they've taken something from it. Someone somewhere is listening to this today, wherever they may be, whatever time of day or night it may be, and they're like, do you know what, I like that, I'm going to try it.
Just try and action everything that we'll give you. Please, please,
Action creates change, not knowledge. So until next week, thank you so much for listening to us. Thank you for subscribing. If you don't subscribe to us, by the way, click that follow button right now, and we will be dropping a brand new episode of this podcast every single week until we run out of things to talk about, which
was not going to happen.
Knowing Heather, it will never happen, or indeed me. So thank you so much, everyone, for listening, and we look forward to speaking to you all again next week. Take care.
Thank you. Take care.